We got to talk about Elizabeth Warren, who was on. She was on with our Jim Cramer.
Another gift. Huh? Another gift. Please nominate her. Please, Lord, nominate her.
I think we've got a soundbite from. She's very. We don't have it right now. Anyway, we were going to run.
I can tell you what it is.
We're going to load it up.
People who make money suck. That's what the soundbite is, basically. You know, people who make money suck, and we'd like to take their money from them. That's basically.
I liked. I think AOC said Howard Schultz hasn't waited long enough, doesn't have the experience to run for president. She was. I think wasn't she a bartender a couple of years ago? Not that there's anything wrong with that. People.
No, she's having her moment. We're very happy for her.
Okay, I think we have the Elizabeth
Warren sound.
Wilf, you okay?
What I want is I want these billionaires to stop being freeloaders.
I don't even need any more than that. We could run it longer, but I want billionaires to stop being freeloaders.
Listen, like in my state, the top 1% in my state pay 58% of the state income tax. So, and I see there's a few billionaires in there over in New Jersey. I mean, so how are they freeloading exactly? They're paying 1% is paying 58% of the income tax, and our system gets more and more progressive in that way across the country. That's fine, but then you can't criticize them.
And there are
for their wealth and for their success.
There are some that give it to their kids, but more and more I'm hearing the philanthropic efforts of a lot of these guys. They make it and then they give it away. I mean, Druckenmiller one year gave $800 million. Are they actually bad for society when they pay taxes on accruing the $1 billion and then they give it away? Is that... Speaking of, actually, we might have one sitting right. We have one of these evil guys sitting right here.
That's what I was going to say. I was wondering when Alexis was going to confess.
Yeah, exactly. I saw him. He was like this.
I have two minds of this because I know, on the one hand, I know my parents benefited a ton from these programs. Like they told me about government cheese, and I was like, "What's that?" And so on the one hand, I do feel a kind of obligation to the social contract, and I think what I want to hear are real solutions about how we at least maintain a floor so that people can live in dignity.
We all want that.
I think everyone wants that.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm trying to, I'd love to know what you think is the way to do that.
Well, listen, I think that continuing to create more wealth and more opportunity does two things. One, those folks who are creating wealth and opportunity are paying an enormous amount of taxes already on a $4 trillion federal budget that we're spending every year, not counting what we're spending at the state and local level. And that'll continue to go up. I mean, it's not going to start going down. It's going to continue to go up. Secondly, it gives great hope to people. I want people to be looking at shining examples every day of what they can be. That's why I don't mind AOC. I don't agree with her, but people will look at her and say, wow, she got elected to Congress. All right, well, maybe I can do that.
I think you think that's a gift, one of the gifts that you're talking about that keeps on giving.
AOC? Well, she will be, because if she continues to say that it's immoral to be a billionaire.
Right. But there's other
people set out to be a billionaire. They set out to be successful, and that they have a really great idea and they work really hard. They could become that. I don't think all of a sudden they go from being moral to immoral.
I mean, the whole Democratic Party is a gift that's giving right now. I do think that. I think Howard Schultz is speaking. I listen to what he's saying now.
He's speaking to you, isn't he, Joe?
He is compared to where the party is.
All right.
And the response that he got from the party shows me how far left. I watched Tom Perez the other night on an interview. I don't know who they're representing at this point, Chris. I mean, don't you think that they're screwing this up?
Oh, yeah. I mean listen, right now they are. Now we're going to see what happens. I mean, it's where all the energy is, right? And we talked about that with our party, a few years ago, that all the energy was on the far right. So if you came into a primary like me and you're a Republican from a blue state that made compromises with Democrats, remember, I made compromises with Democrats. That made me evil. If I didn't make compromises with Democrats in New Jersey, that's right. I would have been, absolutely ineffective. So I think part of the problem with our political system at the moment is all the energy is on the outsides. And what I hear you saying is like, who's going to give us real solutions for things that are going to get solved? Like we're trying to deal with this immigration issue and nobody wants to, Nancy Pelosi is saying no wall money under any circumstances. Trump is saying, his thing, and nobody's driving to the middle.
There was a bigger base for the president in 2016 than a lot of people expected. Do you think there could be a bigger base for the Elizabeth Warrens and the AOCs out there, if they have a candidate that galvanizes that, then you think exists?
Well, I think it's about whether they can motivate those people to get out all the time. I mean, listen, what happened in 2016 was that Donald Trump got people to vote who had not voted for a long time, and Hillary Clinton depressed voter turnout among their base constituency. Especially in the minority community, African Americans, Hispanic Americans were not excited about Hillary Clinton. And so a lot of them just didn't come out. And so really there's going to be a lot of energy on the Democratic side this time, probably almost no matter who the nominee is. The question's going to be when they start talking about what they want to do, will that scare people?
Who is the biggest and the most frightening candidate? If you're looking at Elizabeth Warren being a gift, who would you think is the most dangerous one?
Well, listen, I think that right now it's going to be somebody like Biden, only because Biden threatens that base you're talking about with Trump. Joe Biden can go into central Pennsylvania, he can go into northern Wisconsin, he can go into Michigan, and he can talk to white working class Americans and say to them, I was you. I was born in Scranton. I was raised by a father that struggled. I've never had much money in my life until recently. I get your problems, and I want to try to solve them. Now, Joe's going to have to remain disciplined because people forget, with Trump saying all the stuff that he says and being as bold as he is, people they go, oh, Joe Biden, he's so stable. Well, Joe Biden is 0 for 2 running for president and said some really crazy stuff over time.
And he's got to remain. He's been wrong on a lot of foreign policy stuff.
He said, don't go kill bin Laden and a whole bunch of things.
He was against the first Gulf invasion, against the first one.
Yes, against the first one.
For the second one. No, I had Robert Gates on. He said in 40 years, he's been wrong on every major foreign policy and national security.
But I don't think that most folks, unless we have a foreign crisis, are going to care about that.
We're running out of time.